Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley McManus. Yesterday evening, there was a significant police presence in the 200 block area of Cumming Street as officers investigated a shooting incident that sent one male victim to hospital, and today, 2 male suspects have been arrested and charged. Officers were originally dispatched to the area just before 5 p.m. yesterday, following reports of a possible shooting. Upon arriving on scene, EMS found an injured male victim who was taken to the Thunder Bay Regional. A new release was made today. The victim's injuries were consistent with gunshot wounds, but they are believed to be non-life-threatening. A vehicle was seen traveling at high speeds near the area of the shooting. Police identified the driver and passenger as the 2 suspects involved. As a result, Jeffrey Morton, 46 of Thunder Bay, and Jaden Smith, 23 of Pickering, have been arrested and charged with attempt to commit murder while using a restricted firearm. Both appeared in bail court today and were remanded into custody with future court dates. The investigation is still ongoing. Anyone with any information is asked to call the Thunder Bay Police or Crime Stoppers. Kiiwetinoong MPP Sol Mamakwa says he wasn't too excited about the provincial budget released last week. He says there's nothing there for the people in his riding.
Same thing that you keep on hearing without really any big investments into helping the rest of the people in Ontario.
The deputy leader of the official opposition says the budget fails to meet the needs of the moment. He wanted the Ford government to address affordability, particularly in the north. Mamakwa doesn't think there is enough in the budget to fix an ailing healthcare system or address mental health and addictions. He also criticizes the province's approach to mining and the Ring of Fire.
They're focusing on that without talking to all First Nations. And, I think that's a very colonial approach when you try and divide and conquer First Nations. In the north, in the Flying First Nations, there's nothing there. They just want our lands.
Mamakwa says that while the North is rich in resources, services aren't provided to address the unique challenges of life here. He wanted to see provisions for the safety of northern highways, for northern travel grants, and to address the climate change that is affecting the winter road season. Putting a price on carbon use is considered by many to be the best way to cut greenhouse gases and tackle climate change. The price of carbon goes up today, and it's going to hit Canadians harder than anticipated. Judy Chin reports.
Companies that emit carbon will now have to pay $65 per ton, a $15 emissions hike that will be passed on to customers at the pumps. The carbon tax on gasoline will now cost drivers 3 cents more a litre, a fact that energized the opposition.
It is April Fool's Day, and the joke will be on Canadians. Why won't they cancel this tax?
Canadians will get federal rebate checks to offset the surcharge. But according to a new report by the Parliamentary Budget Officer, the majority of families will lose more than they will gain.
The carbon tax will cost families hundreds of dollars every year, even after the rebates. The PBO also is showing that the government is trying to sell its carbon tax using magic math.
According to the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, the carbon tax will cost Ontario households $478 more a year. In Alberta, $710 more annually. But the Environment Minister says the rebates will benefit those who need it most in the lowest income brackets.
Which is exactly how the system was designed, so that the rich pay more for their carbon consumption and their carbon pollution, and that we're supporting through the transition middle-class Canadians and low-income Canadians.
The hike in carbon pricing is coming at a time when Canadians are already reeling from inflation. They're feeling the pinch at the grocery store, and soon they could feel the pinch at their neighborhood pub. Alcohol taxes are going up 2%. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Confederation College hosted the Pathways to Net Zero Energy Summit this week. The event was designed to give local organizations a chance to connect and share information relating to the reduction of carbon emissions. With energy prices soaring and organizations across the board looking for ways to reduce their carbon emissions, Confederation College is leading the way with their plan to reach net zero by 2050. Net zero is defined as a state of having completely offset all carbon emissions released by an organization. In partnership with the energy services company Blackstone, the college is engaged in many different projects that aim to increase energy efficiency, some of which include active participation on the part of students.
Today we're having an energy summit to share some of the things that we've been doing to work our way towards net zero. We have a battery storage system that we use at peak times, so we save thousands of dollars that way. We have a biomass plant that we use now to heat the building that we're in right now, the Shunya building. And we have wind, we have solar, and many things that we're using now to offset energy consumption.
The college has got goals to get there before 2050. They've already made some massive impact in meeting and beating their 2030 goals. So they're definitely a leader in the community and in the province, and really in Canada.
Confederation College has a very strong sustainability focus, so we try to involve the students as much as we can in all of our activities. We'll be opening up our facilities data, so all of our utilities and energy information we'll be sharing with the faculty in the Trades and Technology and Engineering building, and they'll be using that to develop curriculum. So they'll be able to look at our building and find the problems and help us fix them.
The college also has big plans for a graduate program, one that would provide their students with the opportunity to analyze real-world data from the college's own biomass power plant. A spring fling was held at Spence Court this week with the hope of connecting tenants at the social housing complex in Westfort to valuable services and build a sense of community in the building. The event saw consistent traffic throughout the afternoon, with some excitement surrounding prize draws and snacks being offered. While those were nice additions, the focus was on the many community groups who were there to explain the services that they can offer the tenants of Spence Court. Some of those included the Ontario Native Women's Association, Elizabeth Fry Society, and Confederation College offering academic upgrades. Professor Kim Descharmes explains what it means to see such a great turnout at the event.
Really, I'm just so grateful to people that wanted to come out and support this community. We're working really hard to change the dynamics in this building so that there's more of a community sense. There's people are enjoying the spaces here, and we're hoping that this will sort of help some of the tenants meet their other neighbors.
It's been a lot more engagement in the community, more people coming out, stuff like this happening here today like that. It's great to see people coming out trying to support the community.
Descharmes says Spence Court is one of few hubs they're currently working at to make people aware of the college's academic upgrading program. As the days get warmer and the seasons transition into spring and summer, city amenities are beginning their transition to focus on helping people cool off in warmer weather, which means today was the last day that people could skate at the Prince Arthur's Landing rink. The rink is officially closed tomorrow and will transition back to the family favorite splash pad in time for the summer heat. In a release from the city, the Community Services Department wished to thank residents who came out to use the rink on the waterfront and said they look forward to seeing residents out again next winter. Though the rink will be closed, the Water Garden Pavilion will be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. throughout the summer season, according to the city's website. Well, hundreds of brave souls jumped into freezing Lake Superior today for a good cause. The 2023 Polar Bear Plunge was a huge success, with the event raising almost double its fundraising goal. Jess Clement reports.
3, 2, 1, go! Over 1,000 residents came out to watch and support the over 400 participants who took the plunge Saturday afternoon. This year's Plunge teams weren't as spread out as last year's, but the event was still live streamed for those unable to attend. Plunge co-chair Ryan Gibson says it's humbling seeing so many people come out, especially looking back at previous years.
I can't believe it. I think back to when this first started many years ago, and it was 37 people showed up for that, and see how it's grown, and especially after COVID, we had the pause. it just speaks to the community, just how warm-hearted everyone here and how much they give back.
Fundraising records were broken once again. This year's event raised nearly $140,000, almost doubling their $75,000 fundraising goal, and blowing their previous record of $92,000 out of the water. The funds raised will be going towards Special Olympics, Roots Community Food Center, the CNIB, and Pro Kids. Gibson says events like the Polar Plunge show just how big Thunder Bay's heart is.
We were hopeful to hit 75,000. We all, we know it's a lot of money, right? And people, the majority of our people are donating from their own pockets. So to see them come out and the challenges with our emergency services and supports to the military, I'm really thankful. I just really am humbled to see us raise those kind of funds. It's all going to great causes, all here in town.
They're going to go in with some bubbles. What? They're going to light them on fire. What? Oh my God!
There was an excited energy in the air that could be felt by spectators and plungers, and we spoke to some participants who were happy to take the plunge for charity.
It just feels good that we get to do something fun, but we also get to help the kids who are going to have fun in the future. Hopefully at our camps too. We love Pro Kids. We work with them a lot. So it's just a nice opportunity that we get to support them.
I don't know if it's crazy or what, but it's for a good cause, so why not?
And despite it being April Fool's Day, the freezing lake was no joke. However, many participants said they'd do it again.
It is cold. It is so cold. It was crazy. It was cold.
Was it worth it though?
100%. I'll do it next year.
I think I will definitely do that again.
I'll be back for sure. It was awesome.
I'll be back. Maybe.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.